Champ 1983, back with you with another YouTube live. Thank y'all for joining me on this live stream. You are the real MVP. Thank you very much. So appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you for family of the love and support. As always. Don't forget to hit the like button for your live for your boy. It put algorithm. I really appreciate that. Hit the like button for your boy. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section to let everybody know that you are here, and also subscribe for more future live streams and videos like this. And also share this video with your friends and family so they know that the People Champ 1983 goes live on a daily basis between 1 o'clock Eastern, between 1 o'clock p.m. West Coast, 4 o'clock p.m. East Coast. That's 1 p.m. West Coast, 4 o'clock p.m. East Coast. Hope everybody here has slept like kings and queens last night and doing well physically, mentally, and emotionally on this day. Today we're here on a Thursday, June of 2024. That means that summer is just around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. If it even though it feels like it's summer already in most part of the United States, I heard that some of the parts of the United States is like over 100 degrees right now. 100 degrees. And we're not even at summer yet. Summer is only a couple of weeks away. And we already, some of us has already feel the effects of summer due to the rise of temperature and the heat waves. So definitely make sure you'll stay hydrated, make sure you stay cool while y'all out and about, take care of business, making sure you'll get that moolah, make sure you get that bag. And in case you're new to the channel, allow me to introduce myself. This is the People's Champ 1983. We go live on a daily basis between 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 1 o'clock West Coast, and between now and 420, we talk about the topic as you see in the title, or we hit all just random topics. And then as I'm as we talk, as we discuss these topics, I want everybody right now to make sure that everything is rolled up, everything is packed. Make sure that your blunt's ready, your bowls ready, your bomb weepers ready. Make sure that you got your device charged up, like your pens, your puff codes, and all that other stuff. Make sure you got your gravity ball ready. Make sure you got your TST gummies ready. Make sure you got your edibles ready. Make sure you got your drinks ready so you can stay hydrated during the session. Make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you got your drinks ready because around 4:20, we're about to get it in at the same damn time. Around 4:20 p.m. Eastern Time, 1:20 p.m. West Coast. So make sure you get it ready right now because we got less than 10 minutes away for 4:20. As you can see, 4:03 p.m. 1 o'clock p.m. on the West Coast. Shout out to the people on the West Coast. Shout out to y'all. I know it's early for y'all over there. It's 1 o'clock. It's barely after noon on the West Coast. Over here, it's like about to be in the evening. About to be on the 4:20. In less than 20 minutes, we're about to hit 4:20 over here on the East Coast. So that's why you need to get ready. Make sure you got your joints and blunts and everything rolled up because we're getting in at 4:20 p.m. So make sure you get ready right now. Right now. Do it right now. And also, ladies and gentlemen, look out for the live review I'm about to put out. Coming real soon on the next stream. The live stream that I just did, if you didn't catch that live stream review of Royal OG, go check it out after the live stream. I did a whole review on Royal OG. Take a look at this. 10 grams. So, and also, what's coming real soon, ladies and gentlemen, I got another string review coming to you real soon. A live string review. So make sure that it won't get, restricted by YouTube. That's why I normally do the live string reviews. As you can see, I'm not just, I only just got one. I also got two. That's why I said, make sure you have your notification bell and turn it on all, so you will make sure that you will miss the up and coming live review I got coming for you guys. The one that I just did is Warrior OG, and this one is going to be the next stream review that I did for you guys live in person. I might do that tomorrow, so make sure you have a notification bell on all, so you will miss that up and coming live stream that's coming to you tomorrow. As you can see, just you know that I haven't opened it yet, so you guys will have a live reaction as I take this, as I open this up tomorrow live. So make sure you have a notification bell on, so you will catch that live review. You can tell this is sealed, this is not sealed, this is sealed. See how easy this is for me to get access to it. Yeah. Versus the one that's not open yet. See the difference? So as you can tell by the title, ladies and gentlemen, there's been a real reason why there's a lot of crimes be taking over the city of Los Angeles, specifically California. It's due to the fact that, did you know that the city of your mayor, I'll talk about your mayor of the city of Los Angeles. Do you guys know that your mayor is responsible for the defunding of the police in Los Angeles? I don't know if you guys know this. Your mayor is the real reason why there has been a lot of crimes going on, and the reason why criminals have been taking over the city of Los Angeles is because 2 years ago they have defunded the police. I know, right? What? They defunded the police? Yes, they did. Take a look. I was like, are you serious? Is that the real reason why crimes have been rapidly over Los Angeles? Check this out.
Cuts that are coming to the LAPD. The NBC4i team was first to report last week about how some of the detective units in the department will be shut down.
Now the chief says more people will have to submit traffic and crime reports online, and the homeless outreach unit will be closed. Our investigative reporter Eric Leonard joins us with more on that.
This is not a desired course of action.
Chief Moore has detailed more of how he plans to cut 350 job positions to adapt to the $150 million defunding ordered by the mayor and city council.
We'll be disbanding our HOPE teams and some other specialized resources.
Officers who work the homeless outreach details, the HOPE teams, will now move to other jobs. Officers from the Metropolitan Division will be reassigned to neighborhoods to help deal with street violence, and more people will have to file their own police reports online.
For instance, the traffic collision reports, those are about 40,000 reports a year that will be shifted to an online portal.
Police station lobbies will be closed nights and weekends. Jails at some area police stations may also be shut down because of the city hiring freeze. That could mean officers are off the streets for hours after each arrest.
If we cannot continue to hire detention officers, I'll be forced to shut down area station jails such as Harbor, Pacific, Hollywood.
Now, last week, we told you that the LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division would be closing its unit that focuses on complex and high-profile sex crimes. That and many of these other changes the chief just described take effect after the first of the year. Now, one place where the LAPD may be doing more is in enforcement of new public health restrictions because of the resurgence of the coronavirus pandemic. Chief Moore said today officers will help make compliance checks on businesses after hours that are supposed to be closed. Enforcement during the day will be left to other agencies. Reporting live, I'm investigative reporter Eric Leonard, NBC4 News. Back to you.
All right, Eric, thank you for that.
The push to fight violent crime in American cities.
You see that? And you wonder why there's so many crimes that have been taking place in Los Angeles, specifically when it comes to breaking and entering. When it comes to, there are more breaking and entering, there are more shoplifters, there are more people getting shot, stabbed, or in ever before in Los Angeles, and that is because of the funding they did to the police.
New details on the big.
This took place 3 years ago. Now let's look at the comment section of what the people had to say about the defunding of the police that took place 3 years ago in Los Angeles. Take a look. This is absurd. Time to arm yourself, everyone. Next comment. We'll put LA into misery. Just look at Portland. Wow, and I thought the Chargers put the city into misery. Next comment. How about letting cops retire at 50? A lot of police is on their job. Good luck, Los Angeles. You're gonna need it. Wow. So training will be cut. That chief needed to be resigned. He chose what to shut down. He was supposed to remove extra beat cops. The snake just adapt. Wow. Work to rules. Don't enforce COVID rules. No overtime. Extra duties or strike for a week. Let crime soar. You will get your funding back. Wow. So this all had to do with COVID. This is crazy, y'all. Y'all would talk about the movie Purge coming to life, and especially in the city of Los Angeles, to the point where that's the real reason why every time you try to call the cops, that either A, don't show up, or you can't even get a hold of them to save your life. Is a real reason why. It's because of the funding of the police. That's crazy. And thanks to, and you could think, oh, you could think,
hey, now, you know I'm a fucking cleanup, you know me? You know who I am? You know who I am? You know who I am?
it's through the funding of the police. Guys, we got like we got 5 minutes away for 420, so make sure you got your blunts, your bowls, your buns ready, and everything ready, because we better get in at 420. We got 5 minutes left. And it is 4:15. There we go. Look. We are 15 minutes away. 5 minutes away for 420. So make sure you got everything ready. So right now, I'm about to do is refill up my cart, as you can see. What's up, Latif? Thank you for joining me on this live stream. You are the real MVP. Hope you have slept like a king last night and doing well physically, mentally, and emotionally on this day. And you are just in time because we are 5 minutes away for 420. So hope you are ready. If not, then we got less than 5 minutes away. No problem, Latif. So right now, we've got to fill up my cart so it will look presentable. You're going to. What's up, Moosey? Thank you for joining us on this live stream. You are the real MVP. Hope you have slept like a king last night and doing well physically, mentally, and emotionally on this day. And you are just in time because we are exactly 5 minutes away for 420. So I hope you are ready. Hope you got everything rolled up and packed. Because if not, then get ready right now because we are less than 5 minutes away for 420. You be watching this Young Dunn case? Oh yeah, I heard about that too. I heard that there's something fiction about that too. I heard that something about the date, something about the judge being dirty and something like that. And that's a lot going on with that trial there too. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look into that one. So we're going to talk about that and more in this live stream, along with the defunding of the police that took place in Los Angeles. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there was a defunding of the police is the reason why Los Angeles has been taken over by crimes. Every time you turn around, somebody there in Los Angeles is getting terrorized by becoming known as let's see what we here. Hold on for a second. Just gonna get the needle so I can put this in. There we go. There we go, found it. Put the needle on here so I can refill my cart and keep the party and start the 420. Got 2 minutes away. 2 minutes, guys. We got 2 minutes away. This is 4:18. Final warning. Make sure you have everything ready because it's 2 minutes away for 420. Get ready, guys. And make sure you stay hydrated during the hot summer days. Make sure you stay hydrated during the sesh. You see this? This ain't fill it back up. Oh yeah, look at that. So easy was to fill it up, which is you had to buy a brand new cart. You just fill it up like this. There we go. Then go put the top back on. Put it on the battery and get the 420 started. Make sure it won't leakage, and then leakage, put the top, always put the top back on. Always put the top back on to avoid leakage. Then put it back in the bag and get 420 started. We are 1 minute away, guys. Matter of fact, it is here. You see what time it is? I got done just in time for 420. Hope y'all ready. Happy 420, y'all. Happy Thursday. Cheers, gang. Y'all the real MVP. Let's go. Oh yeah, cheers, gang. Ooh. Oh. Oh yeah. Oops, okay. Oh. Oh man, that's a good hit. Oh yeah. Hope you was able to catch us with the 420 hit. If you wasn't, sorry for your luck. Maybe next time. It's now 421. Thank you for joining me on this hit at 4:20 p.m. You are the real MVP. Make sure you hit the notification bell, put it on all. Put it on all so you will miss out on the 420 hit we take at the same damn time. 1:20 p.m. West Coast, 4:20 p.m. East Coast. Take another hit of this. It is called a Royal OG. Your Highness. Cheers. Oh yeah. This would definitely help you sleep for sure. Cause it's indica. And indica is known for putting you out like a light. Oh, yeah. You have enough. You definitely get no problem with sleeping with this. If you need help with sleeping, may I suggest you buy CBD. It definitely help you calm your brain down at night, because that's how people have insomnia, because they have racing thoughts at night, where you're supposed to have your mind set at ease at night so you are able to sleep. But instead, people have lots on their minds, therefore are unable to sleep properly, therefore end up having a whole messed up sleep schedule. So may I advise you to take CBD. They also have it on the Fern Valley Farm website, so you will have no endless restless sleep. Oh, that's a good one. See, so I'm able to not just, you already know what I'm able to do with these. Able to make edibles, drinks. Oh yeah. Take another hit before we continue this topic of defunding the police. This is the This is the results of people defunding the police. I remember everybody was upset about how people and I was so high last night. One joint had me glitching. Damn! I found out, Latif. I wonder what kind of strength you had. They got you glitching like that, like you was like a video game character. Just like completely go wrong. Like, I wonder what saying that had you do that. But in case anybody had to tell you yet, you are smart, beautiful, kind, and wise, and you're the most important thing on this earth that have lots to offer. And don't let anybody tell you any different. That's right. You, Latif, you, Moosey, and you! Don't let anybody tell you any different. We are special in our own way to make us special and unique. Oh, okay. That's what's up. Cheers, gang. New York. Ooh, and so ooh, that's a good hit. That was a good one. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Hope y'all enjoying yourself on this Thursday. Because speaking of California, ever since the defunded the police, this is what the city of California had to deal with on a daily basis. Thanks to the defunding of the police.
This is San Francisco, where theft is so common it almost seems legal.
Welcome to San Francisco. Call me in the middle of a
little boost,
a little something to keep me going.
I can walk into Walgreens, steal $950 worth of merchandise.
Under that threshold, it's a misdemeanor. Go to Macy's, grab what you can, and then you go boost it. This was closed prematurely. They could not function.
You're a world-class bipper.
I've been blessed.
If you saw a car, what would classify it as a good bipping opportunity?
The energy of the cop. A lot of times they leave the windows down, and that's an automatic green light. Mom and pop stores leave them stores alone.
I was stopping people from stealing from the store, and I got kicked out.
Give it back. I will kick your fucking...
He's definitely bipping.
You bipping?
Yeah.
I didn't take all these. That was already empty.
I've been doing this a long time. I can't depend on mankind to just assist you.
Let's say you bought. Do you mind showing me what you got today?
Right, where we going with this, man?
But where do they sell their stolen goods? The fentanyl bazaar.
You over here by 8 o'clock. You'll see $1,000 worth of...
Yep. People were selling everything. Tap here to see what I found.
I'm stealing from the store. I'm stealing from the store, motherfucker.
This is San Francisco, where theft is so common it almost seems legal.
Welcome to San Francisco.
Ever since the defunding of the police took place in Los Angeles, this is what's been happening in all of California. Nothing but people, nothing but shoplifting, nothing but home invasion, nothing but just people just out of nowhere just aiming, just people out of nowhere just aimingly, randomly unaliving people with knives, guns. They just want, it came to the point where they showed this footage of this guy, of him just walking on the sidewalk and just shooting people, using cars at target practice with his gun. I was like, what?
man caught on camera firing a gun at random, walking down the street. The disturbing act is the reason another man is dead, killed by a bullet while driving by. This all happened in San Jacinto at 7th and State Streets. Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan talks to a witness. New at 5.
Surveillance video showing a man armed with a semi-automatic handgun walking down State Street in San Jacinto, then indiscriminately firing at random cars on the road. After appearing to empty the clip, he tosses it, but the damage was done. Several vehicles struck by gunfire, along with 2 people. One of them, 42-year-old Victor Leon, was killed. Enrique Torres owns E&E Tires on State Street. It was his surveillance cameras that picked up this video of the suspect early Monday morning. He says they heard at least 30 shots.
Damn. There were like 5 or 6 people walking, you know. I mean, I was afraid that he might probably get inside my business and start shooting at people. Because he just started shooting just like that. Boom.
Look at that.
2 cars, 2 windows, 2 doors.
Just moments before the shooting in front of the car wash, the suspect had walked north on State Street, coming from a strip mall about half a block south, where surveillance video inside a market picked him up too. That video showing the suspect walking into El Toro Market, workers describing him as nervous and sweaty, eventually walking up to a cashier and asking her to buy a shot of liquor, but he only had $1. So he leaves, moments later pulling out a gun and opening fire. The suspect, identified as 39-year-old Julio Rodarte, then ditching the gun and taking off all his clothes as he walked away.
You said he took his clothes off, like completely?
Yeah, like completely naked. Yeah, he took them off and he just kept walking.
Rodarte was arrested on suspicion of murder and 10 counts of attempt.
A man caught on camera firing a gun at random, walking down the street. The disturbing act is the reason another man is dead, killed by a bullet.
Because of the defunding of the police. Now, my next question to you all is, do you think cops is necessary in communities to protect us from the criminals, or do we think that we are able to police ourselves? Because look at what is going on when there's no police around. We get stuff like this happening on a daily basis, and that's due to the funding of the police. People can't even call on the police anymore because they had to file a police report, not a personal police report, but you gotta do an online police report. Or because your mayor wants to defund the police. It's not just the mayor in Los Angeles, it's also the mayor of New York. Because look what's going on with Mayor Adams in New York City. Lots of businesses has left New York City due to the endless amount of crime, the endless amount of shoplifting that been taking place in the city of New York. They always says if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. But yet, more and more crimes have been taking place in New York City, to the point where it's even unsafe for the people that live there, known as the New Yorkers. We already seen what happens when about the twin daughters that got killed in Brooklyn by the hands of a young man, all because he couldn't handle rejection. So he decided to take out a knife and stab not just one but 2 of the twins. Twins got stabbed in Brooklyn.
I got a question for you. For the folks at home who don't know about campus yet, tell them how you describe it.
A young woman, just 19 years old. Witnesses say she was stabbed alongside her twin sister last night outside a bodega in Park Slope. Our Ida Siegel is live outside the local precinct where the girl's parents have been talking to police. And Ida, so many wondering tonight, how could this happen?
Well, witnesses are telling us that this is a case of a man rejected and then taking revenge. And yes, the family is here at the local police precinct talking to detectives, trying to make sense of a senseless crime that happened outside a local bodega. The Natural Plus bodega back open today after an especially traumatic stabbing last night. Police say a 19-year-old girl was stabbed to death after rejecting a man's advances. A witness who did not want to be identified described what happened.
One of the guys had complimented two girls that had walked in with their friends, and they said no, they weren't attracted, so he called them names.
It was 2:20 early Sunday morning when police say Samaya Spain, with another 19-year-old neighbors identified as her twin sister, entered the bodega. A man opened the door for them and then hit on the teen girls. Witnesses say they rejected him and he started yelling.
He's banging on the door, they locked the door, then he walked away again, so they unlocked the door so everybody could leave. So the second they opened the door, he ran back into the door and started attacking them.
The man jumped at them and stabbed them both. Samaya was stabbed in the chest and killed. Her sister stabbed in the arm and survived.
Nice girls, yeah. You're very nice girls. So sad to see them gone, one of them gone,
The man with the knife ran off. State Assembly candidate Tony Herbert calling for tougher penalties for these kinds of crimes.
We also have to make sure that people understand if you pull a knife out on somebody, you're going to go to jail.
Again, police are still looking for that knife-wielding man. No arrests just yet. Reporting live from Park Slope, Ida Siegel, News 4 New York.
Oh, because it's due to the funding of the police. There's hardly any police out there to find them. So that's why it's taking so long that's how it took them so long to find the guy. Because the only reason why all this stuff is taking place is because of the funding of the police. Remember, Carly B made a whole rant about it.
Fine, what you love?
I'm not. That's what I'm telling y'all. I'm not this year. Don't ask me. I don't give a the resume that they send. I don't give a I'm not endorsing no presidents no more. Because how is that $100 million budget cut in New York City for schools, library, police safety, and sanitation? Yeah, Joe Biden's talking about, like, yeah, we could fund two wars. We could fund two wars. We're talking about we don't got it, but we got it. Like, we're the greatest nation. No, we're not.
Okay.
I'm not.
See?
That's what I'm telling you. I'm not this year. Don't ask me. I don't
police in New York City.
The resume that they send. I don't give I'm not endorsing no presidents no more. Because how is that $100 million budget cut in New York City for schools, library, police safety, and sanitation? Yeah, Joe Biden's talking about, like, yeah, we could fund two wars. We could fund two wars. We're talking about we don't got it, but we got it. Like, we're the greatest nation. No, we're not. I'm not. That's what I'm telling y'all.
This is the reason why a lot of people feel that Joe Biden has betrayed the American people, because look what has been going on under the watch of your president of the United States, Joe Biden. I don't know who thought it was a great idea to put an elderly person into office. Whose idea was that? Who thought that was an idea to put in a corrupt person that is known to lie for everything, but yet we supposed to trust him with this country, and he can't even. Look at this.
I'm asking for every pro-Trump patriot watching.
They make a whole document about it. They said it on they was discussing about it on Fox News about how Biden has betrayed America. Take a look at this.
28% of Americans say it might soon be necessary to take up arms against the government. Of those people, 37% of gun owners. The poll also finding that a majority of Americans feel the government is corrupt and rigged against everyday people like themselves. Lee, again, I'm not a pollster, and I'm not going to play one on TV, but I kind of feel like this might be a figurative response. But do you think it's literal?
No, I feel like it's figurative. But when you look at the numbers, even breaking down between Republicans, Independents, and Democrats, you've got a third of Republicans say that they feel like it may soon be necessary, about a third of Independents as well, and 20% of Democrats. So I think what this really suggests is that people feel like the country is unstable. They feel unsafe. And when you look at some of the other numbers in here, about half of Americans feel like a stranger in their own country. And so I think what we're saying here is that people just, we've been seeing this for a long time. People feel unsafe on every measure. They feel physically unsafe, emotionally unsafe, financially unsafe. Nothing feels like that is secure. They don't feel like they can trust institutions. They don't feel like they can trust the government. And so people are going to want to take it in their own hands across the board. So yeah, I think it is a little bit figurative, as you say, but I think it's suggesting this underlying feeling of unease.
Liz, but the feeling of unease is a little bit different on the left among certainly young liberals because, again, words hurt. And I think it was Rob Long on Gutfeld said that when someone tells you to go jump in a lake, it's a figurative speech and it's not a death threat. But that's how young people on the left view words. And again, their reaction to the Supreme Court rulings, I've had to really try and counsel people and be their therapist, friends of mine who are liberal about these decisions.
Yeah, workers at Amazon wanted time off for grieving about the Supreme Court decision on Roe v. Wade, which honestly makes my head explode. But let's go back to the 2020 election. What did Joe Biden run on? He ran on bringing the country together, Dagan. And I think one of the tremendous tragedies here is A, he didn't believe it. B, he never even tried to accomplish that. And as a result, our country is, I think, more divided than it has ever been. And we've been through some pretty tough times over Vietnam, over race riots, et cetera. But right now, people don't trust each other. They don't trust the government. I think Lee is absolutely spot on. They feel unsafe. They feel unsafe walking down the street. They feel unsafe financially. This is a terrible place we find ourselves in. And I really do point the finger at Joe Biden because he has really let down the country. The polling would not be this bad except that people think he betrayed them. And I think that's exactly right.
Thank you both, ladies.
No matter why you started your business,
the American people feel like Joe Biden has betrayed the American people because he'd rather give out jobs, opportunity to migrants, but then have each and every one of you use their jobs over budget cuts. You know how many people have lost their jobs due to budget cuts? Thousands upon thousands of people have lost their jobs due to budget cuts. Talk about people in the tech industry, people that's in the, people that work for Amazon, people work for Tesla. They all, like thousands of people have lost their jobs under the leadership of Joe Biden. That's why you always hear that we are better off when Donald Trump was in office, because when Donald Trump was in office, you never hear anything about people losing their jobs the way they are when Joe Biden is in office. We even have our own veterans being homeless, guys. Our veterans. And they're supposed to be the ones that had the had the one at ease. They're the ones that actually went out and put their lives on the line for our freedoms, but yet this is what they get in return. Not be able to have a home underneath the roof, or underneath their heads, because they can't afford it.
On any given night, there are more than 65,000 homeless people living in Los Angeles. There is not enough affordable housing, and even when there is, some people struggle to get into those units, including veterans on disability. Stephanie Sy looks at some of the obstacles leading to LA's homeless population, the largest in the country.
On the sprawling 388-acre campus of the West Los Angeles VA, dotted with palm trees, a construction boom is underway. 3 new buildings have gone up this year to provide qualified veterans low-income housing. 63-year-old Jack Vicente has been settled in his gleaming new studio apartment for a month. The Army vet was working as a bellman at a hotel when he suffered a back injury and was let go from his job.
And that's what led to me being pretty much homeless for the next 4 or 5 months, until I was able to go to the VA, and the VA helped me get into a lovely, secure place like this. In my opinion, the promise that I joined up, they're really keeping their word now.
But there are other veterans who feel the opposite.
Where are you living now?
Right there.
36-year-old LaVon Johnson, an Army veteran, lives right outside the VA campus in a tent.
You've been back here for about, what, a week and a half?
He was living in one of these tiny shelters on the VA campus, but he says it caught fire and he was removed from the temporary housing program. Johnson has been chronically homeless for more than a decade. Even as new apartment buildings go up on the VA campus, he is locked out.
You applied to stay at one of these buildings and you were rejected.
Yes.
Why?
My annual yearly income was too much, about $200.
Johnson's income is actually his monthly disability check. While deployed in Iraq with the 1st Cavalry Division, he says his unit was hit by a rocket.
I get shot back. I landed on my feet, then I fell over. I remember falling over, hitting my head. And it's just blank after that.
Due to a diagnosis of serious mental illness, he receives full compensation of over $4,000 a month.
So you would think that would be enough to rent an apartment here?
Not in California. Plus I have bills and other debts I have to pay every month too. So like all my money is gone. I don't have anything for myself for the month. You know, so it's just a vicious cycle.
Johnson falls into a category of veterans who stand on a so-called benefits cliff. He gets so much in disability compensation that other essentials like housing fall off. It's estimated 8,000 homeless veterans around the country may lose out on low-income housing opportunities because their benefits put them over income caps.
This particular building has very strict eligibility criteria.
We met Keith Harris, who oversees the VA's efforts to house homeless veterans in LA in one of the shiny new apartments on campus. A veteran has to be at least 62 and make under $42,000 a year to qualify to live in this building.
We know what the solutions are. Either we get eligibility caps raised so that veterans who are receiving VA benefits can qualify, or we stop counting VA benefits as income.
Harris says another problem is that other housing lies in parts of LA where many unhoused vets don't want to live, so they don't use the affordable housing vouchers that are available to them.
There are close to 50 buildings. There are a couple hundred vacancies in those buildings.
Why are there vacancies?
It's maddening. I want to acknowledge it's very frustrating because you've got thousands of homeless veterans, you've got hundreds of vacant units, you've got thousands of unused vouchers. The biggest problem in filling those is one of location. Many of those are far away from the medical center.
And the medical center is located on the west side of Los Angeles, where the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment is more than $3,000 a month.
Damn.
A housing voucher or disability check doesn't go far here.
There simply are not enough units for everybody who needs one, much less could afford one.
As challenging as it is to build affordable housing on the VA campus, it's even more onerous everywhere else in Los Angeles. Between historically discriminatory zoning laws and community resistance, it's an uphill battle. Few know that better than Dora Leon.
Shout to Life Being Dead. She said that her rent, she lived in she lives in San Diego, and she said that her rent is like over $3,000 a month. And where she lives at now, they're planning on raising the rent. Every year they're planning on raising the rent. So pretty soon, I think she said that she wasn't even, I don't think she's able to afford to live there much longer, because every year they raise the rent, and it's already over $3,000 a month just to live in that apartment. I'm like, dang. So now she's looking to move in somewhere else, either Los Angeles or Miami. But she definitely can't. She definitely said that she's not going to be able to afford to live where she's at right now. That charges $3,000 a month, because she lives in California. And wow, you heard that? He said that because they make too much, they could deny being in a low income housing because they make too much. I thought that now how's that make any sense? I thought the whole point of you making as much money so you are able to afford a place. So why you are being denied because you are making too much money? Does that make any sense to y'all? You are denied housing because your income is too much. Wait a minute, that don't sound right. They said that that's the reason why they are denied the low income housing, because they said that the salary that it comes from the veteran salary puts them above the low income. But yet this is America, people. Land of the free, whole nother break. But yet you don't even get to choose what type of housing you live in based off how much you make. I always thought that if you could afford it, why not? Now that not based off what you make, even if you make too much, that you're still going to get. That's why I'm just like, don't even make sense. Hold on for a second, guys. Oh yeah, before we continue, we'll take another hit of this pen. Hope everybody doing well physically, mentally, and emotionally this day. And stop like Kings and Queens last night. There we go. Flashback on. Cheers, gang. Ooh. Ooh.
I've got a problem.
So I was watching. Shout out to the millionaire. Shout out to the millionaire show, Anton. Make sure you subscribe to Anton on YouTube. I'm giving him a shout out. I will make sure that I'm not, make sure to go to the channel, Anton. He has said that LA building luxurious apartment for homeless people. Let's take a look at this. Shout out to Anton, the millionaire running show.
I had also seen this on Instagram, right? And the thing that I have seen on Twitter and Instagram is Los Angeles. We're going to spend some time on California and Los Angeles for a minute, y'all. Los Angeles solution to homelessness right by Skid Row is to produce luxury apartments. Bro, you cannot make this up.
What the hell? What?
Los Angeles, California, solution is to build $100 million plus luxury apartments, swanky apartments for homeless people right in LA, right on Skid Row.
Right on Skid Row. Look at him. Like, what is
I couldn't believe it. I honestly couldn't believe what I was hearing. Is nobody in our legislative branches that could be this stupid. This got to be money laundering. This got to be something different. But check it out.
Liberal LA has a new solution for the homeless crisis: luxury living. The city is about to open a new 19-story apartment building in the middle of Skid Row, complete with luxury amenities like a cafe, a gym, and an art studio.
What? Look at his face.
Listen, y'all. This is not a game. This is not trolling. This is a real life scenario. I was looking at the renderings. I was looking at different stuff.
Homeless, y'all.
Multiple different people were reporting on it, and people that had inside information and what was going on. And this is a real thing. And the regular media, outside of this small 5-minute thing on Fox News, shout out to the name Joe, I'm gonna read that super chat shortly. They the only ones that was reporting on it. It was the weirdest thing ever. And we know that California has spent over $24 billion on the homeless crisis with not even a dent.
Wow.
The developer tells the LA Times, quote, "We're trying to make our little corner of the world look and feel a little better." And the homeless crisis isn't the only problem for...
Why y'all be asking, is it live? Y'all click on the link, y'all join into the live stream, and you see that it says live right there. Why do y'all be asking, is it live? What's up, Leslie Aaron? What's up, baby?
For California Governor Gavin Newsom, business owners are calling.
It'd be funny that somebody would leave a comment saying, "Are we live, yo?" Look at the top. It said that we're live, bro. Look at the top. It said that we're live. We're live.
Him out for raising the minimum wage to $20 an hour. They took out a full-page ad in USA Today to show the country the real cost of the minimum wage hike. The business owners claim nearly 10,000 jobs have been cut since Newsom signed the bill into law, including 1,200 Pizza Hut delivery drivers who had to be laid off. So, Cheryl, you are far smarter about business than I will ever be. When you talk about things like jacking up the minimum wage and giving free luxury housing to homeless people, who does that hurt the most?
That would hurt the economy and also the taxpayers. Besides something about California right now, they lead the nation when it comes to one-way moves out of the state. Their tax base is shrinking. Newsom is sitting on a $45 billion budget deficit. He now wants to cut money from the prison system. He wants to cut money from law enforcement and the courts. But, let's build a tower in prime LA property. Okay, that's $600,000 is the unit cost for each of these apartments.
Look, man, look. I don't have the solution for completely eradicating homelessness. I don't. Guilty. I think that it will be a concerted effort and it needs to be multi-level in order for you to solve for homelessness. The first thing that you got to do is you got to close off the borders to people that's coming over here and getting free opportunities to just do whatever it is that they want to do. And you need to vet people effectively who's coming over here to...
Once again, people wonder why they feel like Joe Biden has betrayed his country, because everything that he is doing is hurting the American people more than it is helping the American people. More people are homeless. More people can't afford nothing. More people are losing their jobs. And it's all because of the budget cuts that started in Los Angeles. Y'all remember the $20 raise that happened in McDonald's in Los Angeles? That's what they was talking about. That's how this whole thing started with the whole budget cuts, with the whole $20 raise. Next thing you know, everybody start losing their jobs since then. Not just with the police, but with the, like I said, tech industry. From the people, like people lost their jobs at Tesla, like people lose their job working for Apple, like people have lost their job working for Amazon because of all these budget cuts. I'm telling y'all, we is doomed. We is doomed. If you don't get Joe Biden out of office, he's going to have everybody's going to be at home. If it was up to Joe Biden, everybody would be homeless. If it was up to Joe Biden. That's crazy. And not to mention that his son, has been convicted on 3 felonies. Did y'all not know that? Did you guys know that Joe Biden's son just got convicted on 3 felonies? Look, he'll go to look. This is how you know that Joe Biden and the Biden family are the real criminals. Is the reason why criminals have been taking over this country. Take a look at this.
As we are awaiting potential reaction from prosecutors, defense attorneys, and even perhaps Hunter Biden himself. We do know that as the verdict was being read, he stared straight ahead, showing very little emotion. The judge has now excused jurors. We do want to bring in attorney Jeremy Rosenthal to break all of this down. Jeremy, we have learned that the jury has found Hunter Biden guilty on all 3 felony charges, really only deliberating for about 3 hours. What is your reaction?
Guilty, y'all.
Not surprised in the least. Hunter Biden was prepared to not necessarily plead guilty to this, but
they said they're not even surprised that they were found guilty. Wow, that's just says a lot, people.
Accept responsibility in exchange for the tax deal that was bounced by the judge a while ago. Every once in a while, you have to try a case just because that was the situation here. The evidence was pretty overwhelming. Hunter Biden and his team gave it their best shot. The jury, it sounds like they deliberated a little bit. This is about what I think most folks would have expected here.
So what happens next? Again, Hunter Biden is a first-time offender. He faces a maximum of 25 years in prison, but first-time offenders do not often see the maximum.
What's going to happen at this point is the court's going to do what's called a pre-sentence investigation. The federal government goes by what's called the federal sentencing guidelines. So the statute provides a penalty that's up to 25 years. However, the guidelines are not mandatory, but it's a big matrix is what it is. And you score points by having a criminal history. You score points based on the type of offense there was. You score other points in certain instances. If you were an organizer of a conspiracy, he's not going to score very high really on any of these. So in this instance, the pre-sentence investigation is going to tell the judge what the guideline ranges are, and in all likelihood, the judge follows those. I would be surprised if it's any more than 18 months at most. It's even possible he could get federal probation here.
And that's what I was going to ask you is, will he actually see the inside of a prison, or would it be more likely that he were to serve house arrest?
Federal probation is rare, and federal house arrest is, I think, going to at best be a case-by-case basis. I think that's doubtful too. You might see that in state court of New York, for instance. Michael Cohen was given house arrest. Donald Trump, one of the things on the table for him is potentially house arrest. But federal in the feds, probation is fairly rare. Again, I'm anticipating a punishment 6 months, maybe 12, at most 18 months. Now, one caveat for Hunter Biden is that because now he's got a criminal history and he still has that federal tax charge to pay, where he again was expected to plead guilty to it. So I think the evidence in that case is going to be pretty difficult against him. His guideline range for that offense is going to be bumped up just slightly. So now he's looking at more time on that tax charge.
So let's say the judge actually does sentence him to prison time. Where might he serve?
Yeah, where?
That's anybody's guess. The federal government sentences you where you fit most. I mean, they do assessments based on what type of offender you are, what type of crime you are. Are you a gang member? They do all those types of calculations, and then they find the best place. Given that this is, it'll be interesting to see if they classify this more as a weapons offense as compared to a drug offense, because drug offenders probably going to get treated a little differently, you would think, than a violent offender. That said, I do think that the idea of club fed is kind of a bit of a myth these days. The federal pen sucks. Just ask Martha Stewart or anybody who's been there. There's no really good federal institution to be incarcerated in.
And also on that front, Hunter Biden is not any ordinary citizen. He is the son of the current president of the United States. Does that play a role in where he is assigned and how he is assigned? He does have a very high profile. Could he be a target? All of these questions. What happens? Again, this is historic. This has never happened before. So what are the conversations being had right now, and how could that impact what happens?
Joe Biden.
That's a really good question. When you have an offender who has got a profile like this or needs a little more protection than another inmate, that can certainly impact their placement. So those are certainly things that I think the government is taking into consideration. Jails and prisons get sued very regularly, very frequently. The vast majority of those lawsuits are meritless, but some of them are pretty good. And prison's a dangerous place. I believe, I'm going to quote Mother Teresa, and I read this on the internet, so I know what she said is true. You can judge a society by how they treat their inmates and how they treat their prisoners. In the United States, it's no fun to be a prisoner. Prison is difficult on every level. That said, we're better than any place in the world. Lawsuits that get brought against jails.
Jeremy, I do want to pause right here. I want to show folks right here, and I did want to share this with you. As you can see, First Lady Jill Biden leaving the courtroom right there. It's a little hard to see, but we did see her walking out of the courtroom right there and into this SUV. Again, that is the first time that we've seen First Lady Jill Biden. We did not see President Biden, but I did want to share this live look outside the Wilmington, Delaware Federal Courthouse as we saw First Lady Jill Biden getting into that SUV after hearing that Hunter Biden has been convicted on all 3 felony charges. So I did want to share that with our viewers as we continue to follow this breaking news.
So now Joe Biden can't even no longer talk to anybody about how they are a convicted felon and this and that, because look at your son, Joe Biden. A 3-time felon is Joe Biden's son, is now going to be for the rest of his life. A 3-time. But yeah, he want to talk about Donald Trump. And his son is no different. It's like pretty much a popcorn a Kendall Black now at this point. But this is exactly why criminals has been getting away with a lot of stuff here in the United States. It's because of who is in charge in the United States. And Joe Biden and the Biden family. Proving his son with 3 felony charges and was found guilty. And speaking of somebody else who was found guilty of a crime that also need to be locked up, it's none other than Anthony Fauci. Y'all know that Anthony Fauci got caught lying under oath when it comes to who started the coronavirus, who started the COVID-19. It was known as Dr. Anthony Fauci. But before we continue, ladies and gentlemen, hope everybody's doing well physically, mentally, and emotionally on this day, and have slept like kings and queens last night. And people out there going in on this pen. Hope y'all doing well. Hope you got your pen charge up, your bowls, your blunts packs, and better get in. Cheers, gang. Pen blinkers. So now it's official. Joe Biden's son is now a 3-time felon. This is exactly what I say. Because our U.S. troops been trying to tell us this entire time that we got our world leaders and governments are criminals. And if we don't act now, we are going to lose our rights and our freedoms. And nobody we hold, Joe Biden's son gets convicted and became a 3-time felon. His son. You already know where I'm going with this. Let's say that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. In other words, everything that Joe Biden's son knows is because of Joe Biden. And we all know how much of a liar Joe Biden is. So how can we trust a damn thing Joe Biden says when it comes to teaching everything his sons know when it comes to him being a 3-time felon? Because how many times Joe Biden has been caught in the lie? And speaking of somebody being caught in the lie, which brings me back to Anthony Fauci.
Look at this right here, huh? We're gonna be here. We're gonna be here. Oh, no, I'm about to have this whole space.
Take a look at this.
Kentucky Congressman and House Oversight Committee Ranking Member James Comer joins us now. Congressman, how can Anthony Fauci just perjure himself like that and just walk home?
Well, we're going to do everything we can to hold him accountable. The key was doing all the research, getting the emails, working with the whistleblowers, getting the facts straight, and then giving Dr. Fauci an opportunity in a public setting under oath to give his version of the story. And Jesse, it looks like he lied several times, especially when he tried to twist the definition of what gain-of-function research is, and he threw everyone into the bus. We produced emails that showed all of his circle of advisors were bragging about how they could avoid FOIA, how they could avoid transparency by deleting emails, by not putting anything in emails. And what Dr. Fauci said today was, oh, I never talked to my personal assistant. He didn't have access to me. I don't know. He's on his own. And I didn't, it wasn't me. It was the CDC that said you had to be 6 feet apart. I mean,
oh my God.
It was offensive. What Dr. Fauci said today, and I'm glad the American people got to see the mad scientist and all the damage he's done to our society. When you lie to Congress, Congress can make a recommendation to the Justice Department to make an arrest. Obviously, that's not going to happen under the Biden administration, but if Trump is reelected, will you guys be making...
You hear what he just said? He said that the only reason why Dr. Anthony Fauci has not been locked up on acts against humanity is because we are under the administration of Joe Biden, who is blatantly condemns lawlessness.
Recommendation to the Trump Justice Department to arrest Anthony Fauci for perjury? Well, it sure looks like that's a strong possibility. I mean, I would do that, and I think that we're going to have to get together as a committee. We're going to go back. Obviously, we've got the transcript. We're going to go line by line through every answer he gave, especially when he's throwing all of his assistants under the bus. And I want to bring some of those people back in. We've already heard testimony from Dr. Moran. And now we heard testimony today from Dr. Fauci saying, oh, I didn't have anything to do with it. It wasn't me. It was all him. Well, let's bring Dr. Moran back in and see if he has any more recollection of how things really occurred. If Dr. Fauci's going to throw everyone else under the bus, then that may change their tune as to how they do their answers. Look, we know they use taxpayer dollars to fund gain-of-function research. Dr. Fauci can try to give some slick answer to change the definition, but they knew what was going on, and the evidence we produced showed they destroyed evidence. They destroyed emails. They did everything they could to coordinate with Facebook. Dr. Fauci mentioned Facebook in that clip you said, to try to censor any dissenting views, any conservatives that dare question the great Dr. Fauci and his great scientific mind. Today, you know, he had a totally different tune, but he still showed no remorse and tried to blame everyone else for the mistakes he made.
Yeah, and it's funny that every investigation you do, Congressman, the CIA pops up. You have the whistleblowers say, oh, the CIA told the prosecutors, don't touch the sugar brother. And now we're hearing that Fauci was meeting with the Central Intelligence Agency during the pandemic. And now he kind of is vague about whether he did or he didn't. What's going on there? I asked him specifically how often he met with the intelligence community, and he never would give a definitive answer. Look, I asked Peter Daszak, the CEO of EcoHealth Alliance, the same exact question. Because, Peter Daszak checks all the boxes of what our intelligence community uses as informants. And if Peter Daszak was an informant for our intelligence community, that means our intelligence community knew before the COVID outbreak what was going on in that Wuhan lab. And everyone worked together under Dr. Fauci and the ones who knew in the intelligence community to cover this up, to say anyone that would suggest the lab leak theory was plausible was a right-wing conspiracy theorist. And we heard today when Jim Jordan asked the question, Dr. Fauci said, no, I'm open. It could very well have been a lab leak, but it didn't come from the money that we sent over there. That was Dr. Fauci's answer. Yeah, it could have been a lab leak, but not from the tax dollars that we used. It went towards something else. That's complete baloney. I think the American people see through it. And people are mad and want Dr. Fauci to be held accountable. Yeah, well, that jives with what the whistleblower told us, was that Daszak was being used by Big Intel to use the Wuhan lab as a backdoor to spy as a cutout on the Defense Department in China. So we'll see if we can get some answers. Maybe we'll get some movement one of these days. Congressman Comer, thanks as always for your good investigations.
See?
Kentucky Congressman and House Oversight Committee.
Another lie that was told by the American people was the COVID was started by known as Anthony Fauci. They even call him the mad scientist, and that people can see right through him, and people are mad they want him locked up. But y'all heard what he just said. That's not going to happen under the administration of Joe Biden, because he condones lawlessness, and he is responsible for defunding of the police all over the United States, just so he could fund 2 wars. That should tell you right there that Joe Biden is the biggest betrayer here in the United States, because he is the one that's the reason why there's a war in Ukraine. He's the reason why there's a war in Europe, all because of Joe Biden and his policies that is put place here in the United States.
To be official, Joe is more than welcome on this program for the entire hour, and I'll give him an extra 3 hours of uninterrupted radio time. But I don't think Joe can handle a live segment on MSDNC, much less an entire hour on this program. It's pretty simple. This doesn't look good for Joe. He needs help answering basic questions. He struggles, he mumbles, he bumbles, he stumbles. He's having a hard time walking and talking. And let's not forget when, he read the instructions from the teleprompter like an elderly Ron Burgundy. 4 more years, pause, oops. From the economy to inflation to illegal immigration to violence in the Middle East, war in Europe, to the obvious cognitive decline. It is no secret why Biden is hemorrhaging support from several usually reliable demographics. Then, of course, he's out there talking about his dear uncle that was eaten by cannibals. But anyway, I digress. But it's not stopping Democrats and strategic minds that are in the Democratic Party. James Carville's a lot of things. I've debated him, smart guy, and he's getting really pissed off. Watch.
So I hear this a lot. Young voters are just not into this. It's two candidates. One's in the 80s, one's is almost in the 80s, and they're concerned about things that Washington, the politicians, and you just can't blame them for, you. All right? Are you watching what is happening in the Supreme Court? If you're 26, do you see what they're doing? First of all, they're going to take every right that you could possibly have away from you. If Trump and Roberts and Alito and Gorsuch and Thomas and Leonard Leo and the Heritage Foundation, if they get a hold, there will be no government left. There will be no rights left. You will live under theocracy. You'll end up with Christian nationalism. But that's all right, you little 26-year-old. You don't feel like the election's important to me. They're not addressing the issues that I care about.
Don't worry, with Joe unable to commit.
The real reason why people don't care about this year's election is because you people like Bernie Sanders put it out there that it is pointless to even go out and vote due to the fact that it can be bought due to the corrupt I can just money that can buy elections. This is coming from Bernie Sanders. Check this out, guys.
We have a corrupt political system in which big money buys elections. Billionaires right now, through super PACs, can spend as much money as they want, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to elect the candidates who they want, who represent their interests. And when you have a corrupt political system, and I'll give you, going back to the drug companies, do you know how many paid lobbyists they have in Washington, D.C.? They got 1,700. Can you imagine? Former leaders of the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, 1,700 for 535 members of Congress. That's why you pay the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. The railroads made record-breaking profits. And not only do we have a whole lot of derailments in this country right now, but in addition to that, despite their record-breaking profits, they could not afford to provide rail workers with one paid sick day. Can you imagine that? These guys do dangerous work in all kinds of weather, and the rail industry couldn't give them one day. Now, we've had some success. One of the companies is now giving them 4 days. We hope the other companies will do the same. But all of this speaks to the incredible level of corporate greed that you see all over the place. Insurance companies make huge amounts of money. 85 million of people in this country cannot afford health care, despite the fact we're spending twice as much for health care as almost any other country. So the issue is corporate greed. The issue is a corrupt political system.
This came out of Bernie Sanders' mouth that due to corporate greed is the reason why they can just buy elections, spend hundreds of millions of dollars on who on the candidate that pick that best interest. This is exactly why. What's the whole point then of voting this year, knowing what Bernie Sanders just said, knowing that they can just buy elections, knowing they can just pick whoever they want to be the president based off their interests. You heard it from Bernie Sanders. Should I get for the people in the back? Okay.
In which we have a corrupt political system in which big money buys elections. Billionaires right now, through super PACs, can spend as much money as they want, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to elect the candidates who they want, who represent their interests.
You're there.
And when you have a corrupt political system in which money, big money, buys elections, billionaires right now, through super PACs, can spend as much money as they want, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to elect the candidates who they want, who represent their interests.
So what's the whole point of voting this year, guys? What's the whole point of voting? If they can what? What's the whole point of voting? If they can do what?
We have a corrupt political system in which money, big money, buys elections. Billionaires right now, through super PACs, can spend as much money as they want, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to elect the candidates who they want, who represent their interests. And when you have a corrupt political system, and I'll give you, going back to the drug companies, you know how many paid lobbyists they have in Washington, D.C.? They got 1,700. Can you imagine? Former leaders of the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, 1,700 for 535 members of Congress. That's why you pay the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. The railroads made record-breaking profits. And not only do we have a whole lot of derailments in this country right now, but in addition to that, despite their record-breaking profits, they could not afford to provide rail workers with one paid sick day. Can you imagine that? These guys do dangerous work in all kinds of weather, and the rail industry couldn't give them one day. Now, we've had some success. One of the companies is now giving them 4 days. We hope the other companies will do the same. But all of this speaks to the incredible level of corporate greed that you see all over the place. Insurance companies make huge amounts of money. 85 million of people in this country cannot afford health care, despite the fact we're spending twice as much for health care as almost any other country. So the issue is corporate greed. The issue is...
If you really think about it, ladies and gentlemen, if it wasn't for your mayor of your city, this would not even be a gang in your city. Let me say that again. If it wasn't for your mayor of your city, there would not be a such thing as a gang that would find itself taking over your city. It's only because your mayor allowed the gangs to take over your city. Y'all remember, y'all ever heard of the movie called Original Gangsters? It's where the movie called Original Gangsters. It's featuring where the crime where the mayor find himself negotiating with the gang members, and his reason is because and the mayor found himself siding with the criminals, and therefore that's why you see every once in a while there's a drive-by shooting, or there's somebody being held by gunpoint, or somebody being shot or stabbed because of the crime being taken over the city, all because there was being compromised. The mayor allows it to happen. So I'm just want to let you guys know that it's the real reason why gangs have taken over your city. It's the reason why there are even gangs are to be able to run the city. It's because of your mayor. Y'all remember the movie called Back to the Future? When Biff took over as mayor, and guess what happened when he took over as mayor? Lawlessness took over the city. That's exactly what's happening in real life. When you have corrupt mayor taking over your city that allows gun violence to run rapidly in your city, instead of just doing his job and making sure that your city is nice and safe. But nope, he wants to side with the he went to side with the. Because that's exactly what Mayor Adams did when he found himself siding with the drill rappers. Y'all remember when Mayor Adams made this whole scene where he was taking pictures and videos with rappers like Jim Jones, and he was there with Mano was there, and and had the nerve to call them drill rappers. Mayor meets the drill rappers. Y'all saw that? Mayor Adams. Mayor Adams. Look at this.
From midnight tweets to drinking bleach to tear gassing citizens and staging a photo op.
The music genre for contributing to the rising violence in the city.
But as CBS 2's Andrea Klein-Thomas explains, the mayor and the rappers were able to come to an agreement.
There's been a lot of talk about drill rap, drill music, New York City, connecting violence with the culture.
Late Tuesday evening, drill rappers met with Mayor Eric Adams, who's been critical of their music, saying it's causing a spike in violence. But Brooklyn rapper Bleezy says the meeting was productive.
We got a chance to speak to him as brothers, as we should, and we got a perfect understanding of what's going on.
Drill rap came under renewed scrutiny after 18-year-old artist Jaquan McKinley's murder earlier this month, leading Mayor Adams to call for the music's removal from social media.
Violent people who are using drill rapping to post who they killed and then antagonize the people who they are going to kill is what the problem is.
People look at the videos or listen to the lyrics and stuff, it's going to be characterized as, talking about guns, talking about money, talking about...
That's just a music period, every genre.
While Bleezy admits some artists go too far.
If you ain't experienced poverty, you shouldn't even have your opinion on anybody.
God, you freaking idiot. Everybody knows that it's what type of music you put out.
Developing now an incredibly lengthy sentence handed down in the last.
A real artist would know that the type of music gives out the certain type of energy that makes the people repeat what you say. So we going around talking about some shoot it up, bang bang, or you make a song called "I'm Gonna Kill You," and then have your audience sending into a song. What do you think that's going to happen? Now that subconsciously they're telling somebody that they want to kill them, and you don't think that's have some type of mental impact with people's minds when they find themselves singing themselves in the cars talking about I'm going to kill somebody. This is type of music. And then people wanted to know why people are turned off when it comes to rap, because that's what majority of what you hear when it comes to rap. When it comes to rap, they either talk about guns, they either talk about money, or they're talking about how many girls they slept with, or how many they got ops, how many ops they got. When you think it's going to do with the youth, if all they hear is I'm going to unalive my ops, and it's all about the bag and kill or be killed, and they're looking at it, and every time you watch the music videos, that's all you see is them promoting drug use, them showing up their guns, than them bragging about them, and then them bragging up, have the nerve to brag about the crime they commit on their song, and expect us to not peep that, but then have the nerve to say to everybody to stop snitching. Be sure you subscribe to Hassan Campbell. Hassan Campbell. Be sure you subscribe to Hassan Campbell. This is what I have to say about, because he lives in New York City. Here's his take on how good of a job Mayor Adams has been doing as far as New York City. Because did you know that Mayor Adams is suing 5 major social media platforms? Did you know that? Did you know that Mayor Adams is suing 5 major platforms? Mayor of New York City, Mayor Adams, is suing 5 social media platforms. One of them is Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook. They're all being sued by Mayor Adams. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that Mayor Adams is suing your favorite top 5 social media apps, known as Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter? They're all being sued by Mayor Adams. Mayor Adams suing social media.
Annual State of the State address. And one of the new programs that he mentioned is kind of making a little bit of history and social media a little bit of a buzz. The mayor officially declared social media use a health hazard for young people, making New York City the first city in the nation to do so. The challenge now is actually coming up with a plan that might make a difference in how many young people use social media.
Social media is a public health crisis, and it is a toxin, a digital toxin, in the same way that public health fights other kinds of toxins like tobacco, cigarettes, and environmental toxins. There's a public health playbook that we're going to put into play, and today's advisory is the beginning of that process by raising the alarm.
And that's the New York City Health Commissioner, Dr. Ashwin Vasan. He also happens, he says that this all coincides with some new safety updates by Meta. In particular, these are for Instagram.
Yeah, so Meta owns Facebook and Instagram. Instagram in particular is what a lot of the young people use. And these updates include turning off the teens' ability to receive direct messages, those DMs that you hear about from people they don't follow, right, or are connected to. So some random stranger can't just hit them up. You don't want that in the DM. Of course not. Also, currently adults over 19 can't DM teens who don't follow them, but now Meta says no one, regardless of their age, will be able to DM a teen who doesn't follow them by default.
Should have always been.
And finally, starting today, parents using Instagram's parental supervision tools will be prompted to approve or deny teenagers' requests to change their default safety and privacy settings to a less strict state rather than just being notified of the change. They actually have the ability to. This, last summer, this raised a lot of concern with the U.S. Surgeon General raising red flags with social media use in teenagers because 95% of teenagers, almost all teenagers, use some form of social media. We know that. 1 in 3, almost constantly. They're always on the phone. But I said this morning, and I think, I don't know if you guys would agree, it starts with the parents. right? I mean, because
Reset the habits.
we're
Right.
scrolling.
It definitely does, but there are gimmicks, and we all know it, to keep you online. And while we may be able to turn the phone and put it down, I think young people who are not as aware to it cannot.
But can they? Because I see even adults that have a hard time. So then try to factor that in to having an adolescent mind. That's really tough.
We just need to be more aware. This brand new technology, we just threw it into children's hands and didn't pay any attention to what it does or what it doesn't do. So now hopefully we'll start paying attention.
Some barriers to the ease and the access that strangers have to these children, that is essential.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a good move. Glad to see it happening now on the local level as well.
Shop your core for all for less. At the Home and Holiday Superstore.
Announced lawsuit targeting social media.
Even me to go. There is, of course, a great deal of educational and positive content out there too, to continually regulate their use. Instead of talking to each other over lunch at the cafeteria, they're absorbed in their screens. Instead of playing at the park with friends, they are inside on a sunny day, clicking and scrolling. Instead of learning.
Oh my God. Meanwhile, Mayor Adams, you are letting migrants taking over your city. Meanwhile, Mayor Adams, you are letting gun violence run rapidly around parks, benches, subways. You can't even go on a subway ride without one about somebody getting shot or one about being. It's just like, now you're contradicting yourself, Mayor Adams. You really are contradicting yourself, because you can't sit there and say, oh, why these kids or being inside the house doing this all day. Meanwhile, Mayor Adams, every time I turn around, every time they do try to go outside and not be on their device, guess what happens? They either get shot, stabbed, kidnapped. There's one point where a woman had got shot just by sitting on a step, y'all. Just by sitting on the step, she got shot. She got caught in the crossfire just by her sitting on the step. And you had to nerve talk about why kids don't want to be outside today? Woman. The contradiction. Look at this. Look at this. All she was doing was just sitting by and not being on her phone not being you saw that, right? She was not being no device in sight. No device in sight. No, she wasn't on her device, not her phone, nothing. And out of nowhere, somebody just came up to her and shot her. Ugh. All because she wants to be outside. Look. Woman. Look at this.
Introducing the Flashback White Flash Cellular Trail Camera.
There was a deadly shooting at a large birthday party in Akron, Ohio.
Shows the chaos, but when you listen, you can hear. Gunshots and screaming, a nightmare for the city of Akron, as one man was killed and 24 others more were injured, with 2 in critical condition. Akron's police chief, Brian Harding.
The victims range in age from 19 to 43, with most of the victims in their 30s.
The police chief says about 100 people were attending a yearly birthday party on Kelly Avenue. Shots were fired from a moving car, says Harding.
Akron City and Akron General are both on diversion to all for a lockdown free and start shooting in the city of Akron.
With several partygoers firing back, handguns were found on the scene and
assault rifle. We did recover those rounds.
The rounds hitting partygoers at random, and the city sending the injured where they could.
Large incident in Akron. City General are both on diversion to everything, and West Reserve is on lockdown.
On Sunday night, police are now looking for the shooter or shooters who got away and are asking the public for help.
This was a tragic incident which impacts our entire community.
But the city, its people, have a trust issue with police, an issue Mayor Shamus Malik is well aware of.
We recognize the gaps in trust that
But instead of Mayor Adams suing the people that took away your auntie, your brother, your sister, or instead of him suing instead of suing those people, he rather sued social media because people are watching, because the young children are watching too much social media, so he rather sue social media than to sue whoever invented guns. Instead of you suing them, whoever invented guns, instead of you suing them, because they're the reason why there's so many people getting killed because they are easy, because of the hands of gun violence. He'd rather sue social media because people are watching. Once again, make it make sense, Mayor Adams. Look at this.
If you've been waiting to apply for disability benefits.
Know how many people have gotten shot due to random mass shootings? But yeah, he wants to sue social media.
A friendly club in Orlando turned into.
Look at this.
I had my back turned towards the door, and that's when I heard pop, 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 which I thought it was fireworks. When I turned around, and that's when I saw the shooter.
What started as a Latin night at a gay-friendly club in Orlando turned into one of the deadliest mass shootings in American history. And tonight, one survivor from the Pulse nightclub shooting is sharing her story. Today, the First United Methodist Church in downtown Orlando hosted its annual remembrance event for the victims of the shooting.
Yeah, the church bell was rung 49 times, once for each person killed on that day in 2016. Now, here is a timeline of that night. Around 2 a.m., 300 people were still inside the Pulse nightclub when the gunman walked inside. 2 minutes later, the first shots were fired.
And after a gunfight with an off-duty officer, the gunman retreated into the club. A standoff ensued for about 3 hours, and in that time, first responders helped the wounded and the hostages, while law enforcement prepared to breach the club.
And around 5:15 a.m., 3 hours after the first shots were fired, the gunman was killed by the SWAT team. And this timeline is still vivid for people like Amanda Grau, who found herself caught in all the chaos.
Yeah, it's something we'll never forget. Tonight, she's actually sharing what she remembers from that fateful night. News Channel 8's Nicole Rogers joins us live. And Nicole, I know those emotions still very fresh for Amanda and for the community, and you were actually able to share something with her that she didn't even know.
A 911 call from her dad. Imagine 49 people killed and 68 others injured. All of their friends, families, loved ones, bystanders, all calling 911 at the same time. So when Amanda called in the middle of one of the worst massacres in American history, the line was busy. Today, she found out that her dad, all the way here in Tampa, called for her and broke down in tears hearing that audio for the first time.
I live in Tampa, Florida, and my daughter just called me to tell me that there was been a shooting at Pulse.
That's my dad. For the first time, 8 years later, Amanda Grau is listening to her dad's desperate 911 call.
She's been shot in the leg, and she's been shot, I think, in the arm.
I wish my dad didn't have to go through that. Grau survived the Pulse nightclub shooting on June 12th, 2016.
What's he gonna do
She remembers it like it was yesterday.
But Mayor Adams wants to sue social media.
Face to face
for people being better be in
When
the
I started
house.
running, that's when I felt
Be on
a
their cell
blow,
phones all
the first
day.
blow that I took
They be
underneath my
outside.
arm.
Grau fell
Deal
to the
with
ground
this.
unconscious. When she came to,
This
Grau
is why
said she
Mayor Adams
mustered
wants to
up
sue
all of her
social
courage,
media.
put pressure on
Make
her
it make
gunshot
sense, Mayor
wound,
Adams.
and got up.
I had ran into the women's bathroom, and that's where I was shot another 3 times.
Grau says she tried to call for help, but for the first time in her life, the 911 line was busy. So she called her family in Tampa, hoping they would have better luck.
As soon as I hung up, we heard him come.
All because of the funding of the police. This is why they can't get a hold of police. Because there are less police out in the streets. Done on purpose.
In, and then there was a couple of bodies laying next to the toilet. And at that time, I didn't know if they were playing dead or if they were at the time, but I just knew that I didn't want them to get hurt anymore, and I dove over their bodies and I took the hit instead of them.
Grau had to learn how to walk and use her right arm again, something that she says took her a year to do. Now she is working to become a paramedic in hopes of saving lives just like hers. Live in Tampa, Nicole Rogers, 8 on your side.
But yet, many analysts want to sue social media because people are inside watching social or glued to their phones. But you see how you see how make it make sense, Mayor Adams. You rather sue social media than to sue the people who make guns, or sue whoever brought guns into the communities, into the hands of criminals. Instead of you suing them, instead of you suing the instead of you suing whoever funded the gangs that are allowed into your communities, he'd rather sue social media for the fact that young people rather be in the house being glued to their phones where they're safe and sound versus them being out there put at risk of them being shot, stabbed, knife, being randomly being hit by a knife. This is your Mayor Adams we're talking about here. Let's say what Hassan Campbell had to say about Mayor Adams.
When you live with moderate to severe Crohn's disease or
New York City.
The same mayor that said that this border crisis is the worst thing that ever happened to New York City and across America is basically saying that he wants the people of New York City to allow these people to these people came over in America illegally, which is a crime. It's illegal. But these people that came over the border, a lot of these people was released from prisons from other countries. They released their criminals. Their criminals came over to America. And now, from what we have seen on the news, from some of them throwing belts over women's necks and dragging them in between cars and violating them, to the ones shooting the police, you want us to take our children to the beaches when our children when COVID was going on, a lot of us had family members that was in the hospital that we couldn't visit because there was an outbreak. A lot of us had funerals that we couldn't have our families attend to because it was overcrowded. We had the social distance.
Was disclosed by your Dr. Fauci.
And now while all of this is still going on and we are still dealing with a pandemic within a pandemic on the brink of a new pandemic,
made by Dr. Fauci.
You were telling us that these illegals that jumped over the border who are unvaccinated, they're unvaccinated, right? So you want these people that haven't been treated with your treatment to supervise over our children in New York City.
I tell you, man, mayors all over.
And this is who we have in office as our mayor. You got people that's incarcerated, that have felonies, that can't get their firearms because they have one felony. They can't get a firearm to protect themselves from these same illegals coming into New York City. But they're coming in different states and getting their firearms, their driver license in. You're giving them jobs?
They give them jobs.
When the ones, us over here, the natives of America, we could barely survive. This is Mayor Adams. You actually put your stamp on this, and you want us to approve of this?
Not to mention,
that's why most people.
Mind you, remember in the beginning of this video when I show you guys about the veterans being homeless and how they can't even afford housing, but yet they are giving jobs to migrants that not even born in this country. Meanwhile, our own veterans who honestly fought for this country can't even get jobs because their income made too much. Make it make sense, man, Adams.
Today is waiting for Jesus to return, because this earth is done. It's done. I don't have nothing against the border jumpers outside of the fact that we don't know them. We can't trust them. We can't screen them. There is a reward. Everything. Child support goes against us. Suspended license. We can't bear arms to protect ourselves even because we made a mistake 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that haunts us forever. But as soon as these people come over those borders and cross those waters illegally, not only do you give them jobs, gun permits, driver's license, but then you want us to entrust them with our children. Mayor Adams, would you leave these people?
And then it came to the point where they even said it themselves on Fox News. There was like, it came to the point where if you even try to like become a United States citizen the legal way, you're a fool. You're a complete fool. If you even try to do it the legal way, knowing that there are people that getting like Hassan Campbell said, that getting jobs, they're getting firearms, all because they cross the border illegally. So what's the whole point of doing the legal way, where it's so much easier doing it the illegal way? So that was even saying that on Fox News. You'd be a fool to try to do it the legal way. Since now there's a better way to do it, but illegal, and they're getting away with it. Once again, all allowed by your mayor of this city. Man, this is the reason why you find yourself dealing with crimes rapidly taking over your city, all because of your Mayor Adams is allowing it to. It's exactly why I keep saying that we need to get these Satanists out of office, because if we don't get these people out of office, things is going to get worse for us, each and every one of us, due to the cost of living. Damn. Damn shorts. Okay. Awesome. Video. Hello guys. What the fuck? It popped up already. Let me say shit.
New audio for the Road to 10K team. My last video went viral with over 200,000 views and climbing, and
All right.
also helped lots of others gain followers. So let's get you there. This video will be short and sweet, so watch to the end and follow the exact steps in the formula. First, repost this video. Then comment Road to 10K reposted down below in the comment section, and I'll look for yours to repost as well. Huge tip. Please make sure that you have a Road to 10K video with that in the headline so that we
I already heard you, bitch. So that's fucking. Oh my god. Hey, y'all about to end this live stream. Thank you for joining me on this live stream. Y'all the real MVP. Make sure I hit the like button on the live stream. I was trying to show you something, but dude, thank you for joining me on this live stream. Y'all the real MVP. Thank you for hit the like button on the live stream. Let me know what you guys think about think about the topic in the video in the comment section down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more future live streams and videos like this. And also, share this video with your friends and family so they too know that People Champ 1983 goes live on a daily basis between 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 1 o'clock West Coast. That's 4 o'clock p.m. West Coast, 1 o'clock West Coast. This is People Champ 1983. And make sure you hit the notification bell, hit it on all so you will miss my up-and-coming live stream about to pull up about the new stream I just got. So you want to make sure hit the notification bell, put it on all, so we'll make sure you will miss the up-and-coming live stream that's coming to your way. So it's People Champ 1983, and I am signing up. Deuces. Have a blessed day. 2 blankets in a row. What? What the?